Welcome to AI for Career Success. We provide AI coaching to help you outsmart the competition. Today, we are analyzing a report from Megan McDonough that Apple has appointed John Ternus as its next CEO, replacing Tim Cook. On September 1st, 2026, Tim Cook will step down to become executive chairman. Taking his place is John Ternus, who assumes control of the world's most valuable technology company. This executive handover brings a close to an intense phase of operational expansion. The immediate mandate for the new leadership is entirely different: reclaim technical momentum in the artificial intelligence sector. Tech leadership changes of this magnitude are rare. This is Apple's first CEO transition since 2011. 15 years ago, the company had to navigate the handover from co-founder Steve Jobs to Tim Cook under intense market scrutiny. Now, the timeline advances to 2026 for the Cook to Ternus handover. The market conditions are distinct. In 2011, the primary requirement was establishing a reliable hardware pipeline. Today, the requirement is defining an entirely new computing platform. The survival strategies that guided the previous handover are insufficient for the AI-driven demands of the current market. The outgoing era is defined by extreme operational discipline. Cook took a different path from Jobs. He avoided the role of the product showman and instead acted as the architect of corporate resilience. This chart shows the result. Cook drove Apple's market capitalization to a staggering $4 trillion. Over his 15 years, he delivered an extraordinary 2,323% total return, including dividends. These financial metrics represent the absolute maximization of Apple's existing product categories. Few executives have managed a transition of that scale so successfully. Cook conquered the operational limits of the modern tech enterprise. He leaves behind an intimidating, purely quantitative legacy. The incoming CEO, John Ternus, brings a native understanding of Apple's core cultural identity. This organizational timeline shows he has deep roots, joining the company in 2001. He rose through the ranks steadily, culminating in his 2021 promotion to head of hardware engineering. During this tenure, he oversaw massive legacy product lines, specifically the iPad and the Mac. He also managed the development of newer, high-adoption wearable technology, including the AirPods. Elevating a hardware veteran signals a clear commitment. It shows Apple wants to maintain its identity as a device manufacturer first. Ternus is a master of Apple's historical hardware pipeline. However, the immediate threats to the company lie entirely outside his traditional domain. The immediate strategic gap is a matter of direction. Ternus faces a landscape where logistical excellence is secondary to architectural innovation. Apple's momentum has not stalled in physical engineering. It has stalled in abstract, generative software capabilities. There is intense pressure to define the next meaningful computing platform as the era of the traditional smartphone matures. Chief among these challenges is the immediate necessity to deliver a genuinely modern, AI-driven iteration of Siri. Hardware iterations alone cannot solve Apple's current AI momentum deficit. The problem is now one of fundamental direction. This chart shows the 7 critical to-dos outlined by analyst Brian Sozzi for the incoming CEO. The foundational task is setting Apple up for life after the iPhone. Next is deciding the company's media strategy, whether to challenge Amazon and Netflix or pull back on content ambitions entirely. Then we see the 2 most critical technical mandates: making Apple AI relevant and delivering a modern Siri. Internally, there is an organizational mandate to right-size the workforce for the age of AI, aligning with broader trends across big tech. Finally, he must address secondary soft power tasks, such as refreshing the management team and building key external relationships. This operational checklist establishes that the Ternus-era success will be measured by software integration and structural adaptation. When we step back, the contrast between these 2 distinct eras of leadership becomes perfectly clear. This matrix shows Cook's successful execution of the operational playbook, optimizing the supply chain to secure immense profitability. For John Ternus, the required path demands a sharp deviation from that established playbook. It is a strategic trap to assume that past operational methods will automatically solve novel architectural problems in artificial intelligence. Following 2 effective leaders requires a total strategic pivot, rather than maintaining the status quo. As September 1st approaches, the scale of the institution Ternus inherits is massive. Despite his deep hardware background, His ultimate legacy rests on his ability to integrate generative AI and define the next computing platform. To learn more about teaching AI and outsmarting the competition, buy us a coffee or hire us for coaching by scanning the code on screen. Please subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel. Like, comment, and share to help us reach a wider professional audience.